light out. You would walk through the door and I wouldn't say hi. I would walk out the door and wouldn't say bye-bye. It's funny that I never thought about it that way. I never knew the things. Not yet. We watch your head.
Does your guys' library have a drive-through? Mine does. And let me get out the car real quick. But I don't know if through our drive-through, because I've never used it before. I parked way too far. I don't know if you can do pickups as well. They do have a pickup window, so I'm about to pull up to the window and see what it's hitting for. They have a return, of course, but I'm about to see if, oh, yeah, you can call them to pick it up. I mean, it says on the window that you have to, like, it says please call for window service. So I'm just going to pull up in the inside and pick up the book and get it, because I don't feel like calling them. They should put like a doorbell at the window. But yeah, I think that drive-through service is so convenient, so that you don't have to go in, and like if you have a book ready for pickup, you could just pull up to the drive-through window and they'll hand you your book. I'm sure you probably just have to call ahead of time, since the books are like in the pickup area. And so you just probably have to let them know, like, hey, I'm at the window, because you know all the employees are probably doing other things. But I think that's a great service to have, like a drive-through window at the library. Like, that's genius. Let me know if y'all's library has a drive-through window. So I'm just gonna have to go in the inside and pick up the book real quick and get it. I might just send my daughter in. Oh, that's cool. Somebody just pulled up to the drive-through window to get their book. They probably called ahead of time and switched their book over from like pick up to the inside to pick it up at the window. But I don't feel like doing that. So I'm going to just run in here and go get it. All right, y'all. I'm back and I secured the goods. So I got this book for my daughter. Wash Day Diaries. I'll probably read it too when she's done. I was looking at some of the graphics, and yes.
Mom.
What?
What?
Huh?
We'll drop it.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking at some of the graphics, and I love the graphics. What is the age group on this? Because it's giving grown woman, but it ain't nothing she ain't already been exposed to. So, secured the goods. Now we are on our way to the park. And I'm extremely tired. Oh, I'm going to call you back when we get to the park. What's up, y'all? We back with another DOB for my drink. For my drink, I have a blue raspberry lemonade, like energy type thing. So, mommy need to pick me up. Outfit giving very much sleepy, because I am very much sleepy. The kids wanted to come to the park, so I just had to throw on a little 1-2 to bring my butt to the park. And for my book, I have Sweetness of Water by Nathan Harris. I do believe he has another book releasing soon, so I wanted to check this out. So yeah, that's my DOB for today.
That bleeds. I'm the bananas on Josephine's skirt. A brown liquor flirt, the gardenia in Billie Holiday's hair. I'm a blues song, the cigarettes glare, a beaded Zulu hat on Makiba's head. Bob Marley's lock, a Nazi dread. I'm Marcus Garvey's last microphone.
Thank you.
Ancient lady of Grace Nefertiti's royal throne. I'm a poem handwritten by La Lupe on the Malecon.
don't know what she's looking at me like that for. But anyways, I am on my way to Nothing Bundt Cakes because I got all these coupons on the app. And I forgot I don't be utilizing them. And I think I got all these points because, you know, the kids' birthdays. Well, maybe I didn't know. But, yeah, so all the cakes I just had to buy. Look at that big old pothole. Child, if they know when the earth starts to defrost in spring, like, they should be coming around checking for these potholes, because that was a big pothole. But anyways, I'm on my way into Nothing Bundt Cakes. Then I gotta hit my cut over to FedEx so that I could get something shipped out. And then I gotta go to the library to pick up my library book for a new release that just released today. Shout out to my library for having that new release for today. Oh, child, this says Carter's Pickup. Oh, man, I can't park here. Okay. Yeah, so I have to go to the library, and listen, I don't like breaking the law. I could easily park right there because it's like a little 1-2 in and out type situation. But I'm not doing that because I ain't got time. Because honestly, there was somebody parked in like one of those spaces before. It was like a pregnancy parking spot, or, you know, it was just one of those made up parking spots that the companies try to do for good measure, you know, for their employees. Not their employees, their customers. And are we moving? And there was like a security guard that came out to give them a ticket. I ain't never seen that before. So listen, it just be my luck. So we about to run in here, Nothing Bundt Cakes, FedEx, library, then pick up my kids, all within a matter of 30 minutes. We could do it. Bag secured. So I got I had a buy one get one free coupon. So I got I have my dog right here, so that's why I didn't put it right here. Why am I telling y'all all that? So I got a white chocolate raspberry, and then I got my daughter red velvet. Y'all, every time I purchase Nothing Bundt Cakes, I literally, like, usually I always get like a variety of like the little buntinis, like when it's a birthday, or if I do buy multiple of like the regular like Bundt cake sizes, not like an actual big cake, but you know, the standard little I might have to end this. I might have to call y'all back because I didn't bring no water in my throat. I'm about to have a cough attack. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, every time I buy like a variety of the Bundt Cakes, I always get white chocolate raspberry for myself. Y'all know how much I love white chocolate raspberry. If you didn't know, now you know. Like, especially in coffee, white chocolate raspberry, white chocolate mocha. Where am I going? Library. This way. White chocolate mocha raspberry. Wait. White chocolate mocha raspberry. Yeah, I love that in coffee. And I love raspberry. Like, raspberry is just one of my favorite flavors for whatever reason. It just is. But every time I purchase a variety of Bundt Cakes, somebody always wants the raspberry, and it's just like, seriously, like, I got that for myself, and I usually always let that person have it because it's really not that serious. But it never fails. Like, the flavor that I always think that my kids wouldn't want, or like that I didn't think people would want, they want. So the few times that I have purchased the white chocolate raspberry for myself, I've had to give it away. Or I didn't have to, I gave it away because that's the one that they wanted. Why are we leaning over like that? So I got both. Red velvet is like my actual favorite cake flavor. Like, that's just hands down. I'm gonna always choose red velvet. All right, let me see. Whatever. Okay, I had to fix the camera because it was all acting all crazy. So yeah, so red velvet is my actual like favorite cake flavor of all time. So today I got white chocolate raspberry, and I also got red velvet. And watch my daughter, I got two because my daughter's gonna want one. There's no way I can come back home with nothing but cake for myself. I mean, I could, but then that means I have to hear my kid's mouth. Specifically my daughter, my oldest, she's the only one that will make a fit. But watch her, she loves red velvet as well. And watch her want the white chocolate raspberry, but I'm not even gonna give her an option. Like, baby, I got you red velvet and the white chocolate raspberries for mom. Y'all, so I was thinking about how I was gonna do a separate video specifically for my March reading wrap up, but y'all, I low-key don't feel like it, so y'all just gonna hear me yap in the car. Wait. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic 2 1 2. Is that even how you do it? Is that how you say it? Yeah, is that how you say it? Gaia, listen, I had a moment. I really had a granny moment with the group chat with Gaia and Aaron when it comes to, like, I did not know Shark Week meant that was like your period. When people would say, like, women would say Shark Week, I thought they were talking about, because there is an actual Shark Week, isn't it? Like, I didn't know Shark Week also meant a woman being on her menstrual. I had no freaking idea. Like, I was like shook if mouth on the floor when she told me that. Okay, but back to what I was saying. Like, I thought I had the perfect car setup, but honestly, I don't know if I do, child. It just be so much with these electronics where it's just like, like, it's just too much, and then you have to invest so much money into like each each little thing, and it's just like, it's not worth it for me. But anyways, so I was thinking about doing my, I always do my reading wrap up separately, but I don't feel like doing that. So we're going to get a cute little we're going to do a cute little, quick little reading wrap up in the car while we are on our way to the library. Actually, I can wait. Let me see. What time is it? 5. I'm trying to think. Will I have enough time? I don't know, because I still gotta go to FedEx. So I'm gonna try to do it off the dome while I'm because I can't use my phone to drive. So one of the books that I read was Pachinko, and I'm not going to go into full details with these because I just don't feel like doing a really big. It's just because it's Shark Week for me. Look at me using Shark Week, thanks to Gaia. It's Shark Week for me. I did start my menstrual, and I just don't feel good. I don't feel like fighting against the odds of trying to actually be able to sit down and have 30 minutes of quiet time to actually be able to record a video. It's just not going to happen for me. I mean, it can if I make it work, but I don't feel like fighting against the odds. Like, I really don't. Like, I just really don't. So one of the books that I read for the month of March was Pachinko, which was discussed in my last video. It was low-key giving spoiler, but not really, because all the things that I said was pretty much only like 10% of the book. But Pachinko was a buddy read that I read with Aaron and Gaia, and if I were to give it a star rating, because y'all know, if you're new here, I don't rate my books, but I would give it 5 stars, and I actually would recommend the book to somebody. My favorite aspect of the book was the multi-generational aspect. the history lesson of Korea and Japan. Absolutely loved that. But I did also love the stories of each generation. The only generation that I didn't really care for was Solomon's generation, which was the last generation of the book. And I didn't really care for his generation. I feel like his aspect of the book was just so long and drawn out. I mean, not that he needed drama for his part of the book to be exciting, but like his part of the book just kind of fell flat for me. And then the way his stepsister was coming on to him was just disgusting. Like disgusting. She had a lot going on, but I did absolutely love the book. I loved everything about the book, honestly, and it was just the end of the book that pretty much, mainly Solomon's aspect of the book, that fell short for me. But I would definitely recommend the book. And they do also have, the book is also an adaptation of a show, I think a limited series, not 100% sure, but I do know it is a show currently on Apple TV. Another book that I read, it was Miss Wiggins by Mary Monroe, I believe. I don't know. I'll have it on the screen. In this book, we follow Miss Wiggins. Child, on the first freaking page, tell me why her husband is trying to get her to have a baby by another man. That's all I'm gonna say. And that book is definitely what it is. It is exactly what people hype it up to be. Did I say that right? It's definitely hyped up to what, I don't even know. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. It was worth the hype. I don't know. My brain ain't working right now. But it is everything that people have said it was. So many people have told me to read the book. Like, you got to read this book. It's crazy. Woo-de-woo. They were not wrong. And so we follow Miss Wiggins. Like I said, in the beginning of the book, it opens up with her husband telling her, or, them plotting to see how she could get pregnant by another man. Baby, Miss Wiggins and that gumbo, she was not playing with that gumbo. She honestly makes me not want to eat gumbo. Like, honestly, it's like I'm turned off by gumbo and kind of scared to eat it because of her. Yeah, my thing keeps falling. Baby, she was not playing with that gumbo, and she did it so nonchalantly. And it was so much drama going on in this book. Like, so much. Honestly, the book... Are we out of focus? Yeah. Honestly, the book was giving like a church version of Ashley Antoinette, because Miss Wiggins is a Christian woman, very much a woman of faith, but child, her actions, but like I said, she did it so nonchalantly. Like, child, her in that gumbo, baby, her in that gumbo. Child, let me see something. Hold on. All right, what time is it? Because I'm on a time crunch. Okay. So I got to run in here and get this book. But what was I saying about Miss Wiggins? Yeah, go read Miss Wiggins. And I think so far there's a total of 5 books in this series. And so this book was also a buddy read with Aaron and Gaia. This book was one of the books on my list. We each put 2 books into like the buddy read pot, and then whatever book generated from the random generator, that's what we read. Pachinko was one of Gaia's books. Okay, so far we covered Pachinko and we covered Miss Wiggins. And I have 5 more books to discuss somewhere throughout this vlog. So, yeah, I'm going to run in here and get my book. And then I have to skedaddle on to FedEx, if I can make it to FedEx. So, y'all always coming to the library with me, so I probably won't take y'all to the library because y'all always come into the library with me, so it ain't nothing new. But I might come in, check in with y'all, and show y'all the book that I get. What's up, y'all? We are going to color and talk about the rest of my reading wrap up. So let me just get, so the candle, I have work in a minute as well. So the candle I'm going to light for today is this stress relief, but I need to cut this wick down so I don't have all that soot coming out of my candle. Okay. Got our candle started. I need to put some lotion on. I have not opened my... Y'all, when I say I'm serious about this scent, I'm serious about this scent. So I got the candle, and in my last vlog, I told you guys I have to have this on my desk. So I wasn't playing. So, and I got my comfort cardigan. Y'all know I have this cardigan on all the time because it's my favorite cardigan. I actually need to go purchase another one so I don't keep wearing the same one over and over. But yeah, we're going to color because I just need a moment of peace and relaxation before I get to work. I just got all the kids to school, and child, I'm already feeling exhausted. So let me just get my desk together. My desk is dirty from the previous work day yesterday. I did go get a what is this? It is a, child, what is it called? Oh, pistachio cream cold brew. This is not what page I'm on. A pistachio cream cold brew, and I would not recommend it if you like your coffee sweet because cold brew is really bitter. It's just pretty much cold brew coffee with only, I think they put 2 pumps of vanilla and they just top it with a cold foam. So the sweetest part of this drink is the cold foam, and it does look sweet based off this color, but that's just because the cold foam is dropping down. But when you get this drink, it does not look like that. So yeah. All right, let me get my coloring book and my markers. Let me log into my computer right quick. Okay, so why am I not able to log in? Okay, while that's pulling up, let's get my markers out. Hold on, y'all. Let me log into my computer. Somebody's texting me. Hopefully these texts, I should have put my phone on airplane mode. Nobody should be calling me this early. I think most of the people that I talk to, like my friend, she's on vacation right now, so she definitely ain't calling. She just touched down, so she definitely ain't about to call me. So I'll probably just be receiving a lot of texts. I think from my iPad I could put my stuff on Do Not Disturb since everything's linked together. Let me try that, because I don't know if I put it on airplane mode if it's gonna put my if it will also put my phone on airplane mode as well. Okay, let me get my reading journal so that I can reference. So far I was speaking about pachinko. Yeah, I keep wanting to say panchinko, like P-A-N chinko, but it's Pachinko. So far I've discussed Pachinko and Miss Wiggins. And let's see. Okay, let's talk Can't Get Enough. Can't Get Enough, I read that, and that is an arc that does not come out until, I believe, May. Yeah, I don't think Can't Get Enough comes out until May. Am I recording? Okay. Yeah, Can't Get Enough does not come out until May. And I already discussed that. Did I discuss it in the video? Yeah, I did discuss Can't Get Enough in a previous video. And although I feel like the book is good, I do also have a review posted on my Instagram. Although I feel the book is good, it just was not for me. It wasn't for me. And I feel like the way Hendrix showed up in the other two books, Before I Let Go and This Could Be Us, her personality is completely different and Can't Get Enough. We do see a different side of her in Can't Get Enough. We don't see the Hendrix that we see in the first two books. We see it just a little bit, but I would say going into the book, do not expect the personality that you see in the first two books of Hendrix. We see like a more, her more nurturing side, her caregiver side. All the elements of Kennedy Ryan is there in the book. Oh yeah, I gotta get a paper to put under this. So all the elements of what Kennedy Ryan usually has in her books are there. It just, for some reason, it just wasn't for me. So there's that. But I'm not gonna say too much else because it is an arc. And but it is one I would still recommend it, but I think I would just tread lightly on who I recommend that book to. I think if somebody had not read the Skyland series, I would tell them to start with Can't Get Enough first, only because I feel like Hendrix's personality is such a staple in the first two books that I don't know, child, it just wasn't for me. Like, it just wasn't for me, and that's perfectly fine. What do we have? What color do I want to use? I think I'll use this one. So next we have Red Clay by Charles B. Fancher. I keep wanting to say Fancher. Y'all, this is one of my new favorite books. Literally one of my new favorite historical fiction books. And for this book to be a debut novel for him is wild. But I'm sure he's been working on this for a long time. He did state in his author's note in the back that it was inspired by his great-grandfather who used to be a slave. And so in the book we are going through 18, I have to look at my review. I have a review on my Instagram. But so we are following so the book opens up where Eileen, is that her name? Eileen, she's at her grandfather Felix's funeral. And this white woman comes up, Addie. She comes up in, rich vibes, whatever, whoop-de-whoop. And Eileen is like, who's this rich white lady at my grandfather's funeral? And she never says anything to her at the funeral. Well, then Addie, the white woman, she comes and pulls up on Eileen at the residence that she's staying at, because Eileen came back in town to Alabama, Red Clay. In the book is called, in Red Clay, Alabama. And she was like, some time ago, my family used to own your family. That's what the white woman, Addie, said. my family used to own your family. So Addie stays, and they have this long discussion about Felix, like who he was, how Addie knew him, and the book goes back to when Felix was young and he was a slave on Addie's plantation, the Parkers plantation, Old Inn. I think the plantation is called Old Inn Plantation, or Rhodes Inn Plantation, I believe. And so Felix was a slave with his mother and father on the plantation. And it literally just goes back to him growing up as a slave, and then what life was like being freed, because we are following like the end of the war. So before the war ended, we're following that, and then it goes into when the slaves were freed, when the war ended, and you know what that was like, and then the construction of, you know, all what was going on down south at the time, and then going into Jim Crow. So that's what we're following down in Alabama. And baby, he did such a phenomenal job. Like, why did he eat with this book so bad? Like, if you are a historical fiction lover, you are going to love this book. And it was just, I just love how he displayed what life was like for, you know, slaves after being free. You know, like, okay, so what do we do now? And showing how educated, you know, slaves were. People, there, you know, some narratives like to say how dumb they were, you know, whatever, woo-de-woo, but showed how rich they were, how he just did a good job displaying all aspects of how slavery, Jim Crow, the Civil War, how all of that, you know, took place back then. And I just, y'all know, I love, if you don't know, now you do, I love a multi-generational story. And this was multiple generations that we follow in this book, and I freaking loved it. And then slave narrative, he just, chef's kiss, like chef's kiss. If you are a historical fiction lover, or if you love slave narratives, then you will love this book. Absolutely love it. I couldn't put it down. Like, I reserved it from Libby through the library, and then I literally, once I was finished with the book, I had to go purchase the physical copy. There was no way that book was not going to be on my bookshelf. And it is a book that I would read again. I feel like this is going in top 5 of my favorite historical fiction. Phenomenal book. And I literally just cannot believe that this was like his debut novel. So I hope we get more from him, because he did such a good job. And I think the story was so rich and it felt so real, because it was based off of, you know, a true person. It was based off his great-grandfather and what, you know, his journey of becoming a freed slave and what that looked like for him and his family. So being that the author experienced this himself, it just made the book chef's kiss, you know, almost like realistic fiction, if that's even a thing. For me, you know, I always say realistic love in like romance novels, like realistic fiction for sure. And I'm sure that's because it was inspired by, you know, his great-grandfather in possibly true life events, but, you know, tweaked just a little bit. So yeah. Okay, so that was Red Clay by Charles B. Fancher. Okay, next we have Whispers of the Lake. I feel like I'm forgetting a book. Okay, let's do Whispers of the Lake next. So, should I do this color? So, Whispers of the Lake is by Shanora Williams. Why was I about to say Shanora B. Williams? Is her middle initial B? We follow Shanora Williams. I said we follow. So, Whispers of the Lake is by Shanora Williams. If you're not new to her thrillers, I would highly recommend. Her thrillers remind me of Frida McFadden thrillers. And I mean that in like the most respectful way possible. I mean that in the aspect of like, you know, if you want a quick popcorn thriller that's going to entertain you deeply, then I definitely recommend, and you're looking for like a Black author who is like gives that Frida McFadden vibes, is definitely Shanora Williams. She does such a great job with her thrillers, because I've come to realize that I don't really care for cozy thrillers in the aspect of like slow cozy thrillers, you know, like that. Let's see, Geneva Rose books gives me that vibe, and when I read Alice Feeney's Beautiful Ugly, it gave me that slow vibe, and I don't like that. Like, while those stories are great, I just think that I don't think I like slow mysteries, slow thrillers. I just cannot do it. So Shanora Williams, my opinion may be biased, but she can do no wrong in my eyes when it comes to thrillers. I've read all of her thrillers so far. So far, my favorite one is The Other Mistress. I love that one. But in this one, Whispers of the Lake, this is an arc, so I can't say too much. But I do have a review posted on my Instagram as well if you want to like read my thoughts or whatever. Hold on, y'all. I need to log into this right quick. And y'all gotta bear with me as well because I'm just going off the dome. I am going off the dome when it comes to what I'm saying right now. Hold on, let me check something really quick. I gotta check something on my iPad. Okay, just had to make sure I got everything that I need to get this work day started. Okay, so in Whispers of the Lake, we follow Eve. So Eve is an investigative reporter, and in the beginning of the book, you know, it just follows her trying to, she's fighting for a senior position at her company, and she's competing against this young person, but it doesn't get too much into that. It just gives you perspective as far as like her work life or whatever. And so yeah, we follow Eve, her mother. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that. So we follow Eve, and she's pretty much, the book opens up with her working on a case. While she's working on this case, she ends up getting another case of trying to figure out what happened to her ex-best friend. So her and her ex-best friend fell out. The main character, Eve, she's also had estranged from her ex-husband. They end up, well, in the book, they're not divorced yet. So they are separated, and she filed for divorce, served him the papers, whoop-de-whoop. So she's estranged from her best friend and her husband due to something that most of us women probably would be standing on business like like Eve has, the main character. And so due to her being an investigative reporter, she ends up trying to take matters in her own hands to figure out what happened to her ex-best friend. And that's just all I'm going to say because it's an arc and y'all need the vibes for yourself. You know, go into the book blind. One thing I will say about Shanora's thrillers, they are very fast-paced. This thriller in particular is a cozy thriller because it takes place in a small town at a cottage on the lake. So it's giving very much cozy thriller, but it's fast paced. So that's why I liked it still. Fast paced, and Shanora always comes with a plot twist. Like, baby, her plot twist. And I will say the first 3 books, it is The Perfect Ruin, The Wife Before, and The Other Mistress. Those first 3 books of her thrillers are interconnected. So all the stories are intertwined in those first 3 books. So I ate those 3 up in like 3 days. Like, I literally read those books back to back. So yeah, I definitely recommend her thrillers if you're looking for a popcorn thriller, something that's going to entertain you. You need a nice little palate cleanser before you read your next heavy book or whatever the case may be. I definitely recommend her thrillers. I absolutely love her thrillers. She is an auto buy and read author for me. Because she gonna do it for me every time when it comes to mystery and thrillers, because I don't read them that often. So when I do, I need to be entertained, and she's gonna do it for me every single time, like literally every single time. So I would definitely recommend for sure. All right, y'all, I had to make sure I was still in frame. And like I said, Whispers at the Lake, it doesn't come out until June. What color should I make the core? What book should we talk about next? Let's talk about Echoes of Emptiness. One of our good sisters, our fellow book babes, she published her first poetry book. Her first work of poetry. I will put her Instagram on here. I think she's more so active on TikTok. But Micah Grace. So yeah, I'll put her information on the screen. But it's like her first work of poetry that she published for the public to be a part of and indulge in. And I loved it. Baby, the vulnerability. I love vulnerability in poems. So I feel like she did such a great job. My favorite one is when she's pretty much talking about how, because it's not a particular poem. There's like, so I feel like her poems are like broken up into like chapters as far as like different aspects of life. And it's not documented like that in the contents. It's just, you know, each poem, but I don't think it's split into sections. But there's a part of her poetry where she's talking about how people don't know until it's too late, or people, you know, you're trying to tell people that something's wrong with you, or they make you feel like your anxiety and depression is a problem, or they don't understand it, so they don't take you serious, or they feel like you're acting because they don't understand what anxiety and depression is. So that aspect of her poems, I really like that. Some of them were definitely very relatable and hit home, like hit all the way home. It's just crazy how so many of us have experienced the same things, and we don't even have to go into great detail to know what that is. So I loved her work of poetry, so congrats to her on publishing her first work of poetry. So what else do we need to talk about? I discussed Echoes of Emptiness, Whispers of the Lake, Pachinko, Red Clay, Can't Get Enough, Miss Wiggins. And the last one is When You're Ready by Kareem Rosser. I think that's how you say it. Let's see, what should we make this middle? I think I want to make it this color. Yeah, so the book on the front of the cover, I think it says it's a love story. So I thought I was going to get like a nice little nonfiction love story of like, you know, I don't know, like a man dedicating a book to his wife, and like, I don't know, just I thought I was going to get a black love story. Even though the woman on the cover is white, but he's black, so yeah. I just thought a black man was just going to be like, you know, discussing his journey of loving his wife. But that's not what it ended up being. It actually is a book dedicated to his ex-girlfriend. So he is married, actually. And he actually dedicated the book to Lily, his girlfriend, who he did have intentions on marrying, but she had a freak accident with one of the horses and caused her to have a TBI. I don't know what level her TBI was, or if there are even levels. I cannot remember, but yeah, she had suffered from a TBI from a horse, and it just goes through his journey of that experience, you know, and how hard that was to have his whole life planned out, his future planned out with her, and then to go see her being a completely different person. I think it was such a beautiful love story, because honestly, that's what love is. Love is not perfect. Love is unconditional. It's not judgmental. So the fact that he dedicated this book to her, beautiful. So beautiful. I don't know what color I should make these flowers. But yeah, it's a memoir of, he does give you like his background of his childhood, which was very traumatic. It was so traumatic. But yeah, he gives you a glimpse of his childhood. And then it goes into like what life looked like after Lily's accident, and you know, the guilt that he felt, the permission that he got from her family to move on with his life. Man, that was just such a heartbreaking, you know, point of the book, because, you know, it's just the guilt of like, dang, you gonna leave her just because she's now disabled. You know, how is that fair to Lily? Like, it was just so much, but I think it was just so beautiful that she is still in his life. And I also think it's beautiful that his current wife allows him to hold space for Lily. Because that's just such a hard situation, such an unfortunate situation for Lily, because, you know, we always feel like our loved ones don't deserve those things, and it's just, and you know, those are the moments that make us question God, like why do these type of things happen? And yeah, it was a beautiful story. Go read it. And let's just finish coloring these flowers. I don't know. I didn't really want to make these flowers purple, but